Okay, guys, how's everyone doing? So I'm doing something noticeably different. If you've noticed, number one, I'm actually playing a game I know how to play. Actually, that's the biggest thing. I'm actually doing something I know actually how to do. How to form. Oh, that's interesting. How to commit genocide unconventionally. I like this game a lot. I actually really do love this game a lot. It's Victoria 2 Pop Demand mod. So first off is Victoria 2 is a grand strategy game by Paradox Interactive. Yes, and it is. I mean, I'll show you instead of trying to describe it per se, how the game itself works. But a grand strategy game taking place between the years of 1836 and 1936. So we're pretty much just about, well, yeah, the entirety of the Victorian era, kind of, sort of. With any of that, that whole little, industrialization period of Europe, the rise of the German Empire, the changing of, what was it, the fall of monarchies, and all that kind of stuff. The rise of communism and socialism. And also the rise of fascism towards the very end of the game. So this game is very much a history-based game, obviously. It's not restricted to it, but the beginning of it is pretty much set. The beginning of the game is set in stone. It's really up to you at that point to do anything about it. I'm going to Alt-Tab out of here and make it so that this is hearable. And it doesn't want to see me making noise. I don't understand why. So, I mean, I don't wish anyone having to listen to my voice for. Oh, that was like super loud when I moved that up, but I don't really wish anybody to have to listen to my voice almost exclusively for an entire setting of anything. So hopefully we can get that fixed super quick, and we can actually start playing the game. So. It's just not coming out. That's annoying. Wonder why. It actually might have to do with the other part of this. This is also a modded game. This is the Pop Demand mod, and Pop is population demand mod. It adds a fair bit more flavor and context to the game. It adds a little bit more depth. It just makes it a better game. Objectively, a better game, at least in my opinion. So I almost play this game. I almost never play this game raw. I always play it with the Pop Demand mod. So it's the crux of a lot of games like this, especially grand strategy games and a lot of mechanics-based games, where sometimes you play almost exclusively with a mod. So here we go. Wait, let me just go back to this part real quick. The game loads a little bit slow in the beginning, and this is some games I played a while ago. So we're just gonna. I don't know why I even left. Anyway, it's also weird because, well, also this one, it's only going to do the sliding thingy bobber. Pushing up against the screen, that's a little annoying. But other than that, I guess worst case scenario, I can just play some classical music in the back and we'll be good. So yeah. This is the world in 1836. So we have right here, we have the Kingdom of Prussia. Actually, we'll just use this as it. So right here, you'll see the Prussian flag 5, which is its rank as a world power. There are 10 world powers, and Prussia is one of them. It's a great power. It's an absolute monarchy, which is give or take just about right, especially at this time. Or what else we got here? It also shows our population. So we have 3.56 million people. We have the 6th strongest military in the world, 3rd strongest industry, and 6th highest prestige. What else? It shows our population. We have 43 farmers. 43% of our population is farmers, and 40% is laborers. So it's like factory workers, stuff like that. So actually, it's really high compared to like other places, like let's say the UK. Or France, or especially America, especially at this time. Actually, no. Yeah. Or Russia. Actually, Russia's pretty decent, too. It's probably because of how high the population is as well. Austria actually is almost there. But either way, yeah. We have a very large force of laborers and farmers. What else we got here? We have craftsmen, artisans, other. 2% of the population are soldiers. What else we got here? Is there anything else? No, nothing just yet. But there tends to be more a little bit later on. Like France needs to have something here. Clergy. Yeah, clergy is another one. It always is a very small percentage of the population because it's just clergy. 14% of the population is slaves, and Brazil actually has the largest with 20% in the entire world. Also here also show us our allies and stuff. In the majority of Europe, pretty much other than the UK and pretty much everyone starts with no allies. That's a little weird, but it's fixable. I don't think it's that big of a deal really. So yeah, let's just look at the world real quick. So we have Europe. We can't zoom in, but we have Prussia, Belgium, Netherlands, all these little other states right here. I can't remember all of them, obviously. This is Hanover, I know. Bavaria, those are the big ones. Saxony is another really important one. Schleswig-Holstein is another one. What's another really important one? Anhalt, is that here? Yeah, Baden. Where's Anhalt? It might not exist at this time. Actually, it might have been absorbed into Prussia already. One moment, please. Alright, sorry about that. So, anyway, once I select a country, which I already know, and you already know which country I'm going to pick, because it's already in the video, most likely. Oh, dear Lord, what have I done? Actually, I think the whole world is viewable. So actually, let's just go into the game, and we'll do that. So we're going to play as Prussia. Why? Because it's an easy nation to play. It's easy to play, at the same time it's difficult to play. Because you can fuck up. And it's been a while since I played, so I most definitely will fuck up. So that's always good. I really wish the sound was on. I don't know why. Yeah, we're going to play as Prussia and form the German Empire. And we'll see what we decide to do. Are we going to see, hey, let's try to form a socialist or even communist Germany, or have a fascist dictatorship, or continue an absolute monarchy towards the end, or all that kind of stuff. Also, I can show the mechanics of the game. That's the main reason why I'm doing this. Why I'm taking so long, because if you don't know about the game and you don't know how the mechanics work, you're just kind of just watching some asshole look at a map. So, which is what most of the game is anyway. So, let us begin here. And let's just, see this little opening thing. The ideals of the French Revolution were believed to have met their final demise at the hands of the ancien régime of Europe. The flames of revolution may have been put out for now, but the ideas of nationalism and liberalism can never die. This new era of unprecedented technological process doubts will be cast on certainties that have stood since time immemorable. Far away across the briny foam, the riches of Asia and Africa beckon. Maestro, choose your instrument and let the music play. That's kind of nice. Obviously, this isn't. If you don't know, this is not. I wouldn't say this is what we would consider today as liberalism, by far. But just to have an idea. So this is the game. It is a relatively old-looking game because it is an old game. So, alright, there we go. So game's paused, so that's good. So we can actually look at stuff. So the game's everything's kind of built into provinces. I think it's called states, actually. Possibly states. Might just be province. I really wish music played. I don't know why it's not. Already got some shit that I have to deal with. So let's just deal with that now. Armies. I know it's armies, but these are all core. So, let's see. Alliance from Anhalt. Oh, there's Anhalt. Yeah, we want these guys in our sphere, so we're definitely going to... Let's see, we have... what is that? Saxe Weimar, Nassau, Lippe, Dismold. There you go. Yeah, it's a little overwhelming looking. Also, Mecklenburg, yeah, Mecklenburg also has almost the same color, or almost the same color as Prussia. So that's good. Um, Where to start? There's a lot in this game, really. Um, I guess we'll just focus here and just go a little bit over the history of all the shit that's went down here. So, Holy Roman Empire obviously has been dissolved about 35 years ago or so. We have what is this? This is His Majesty's government, or Her Majesty's government, which is like a parliamentary government for the most part. It's the British government of the time. His Majesty's government. So it is more democratic. It's not fully democratic, but it's more democratic if you go to America, which is a democracy. Even though it's not, but okay, close enough game. Yeah, this is the mod. I think it's considered a presidential republic, which is technically what the United States is, but whatever. So France at the time is His Majesty's government, or let's just say parliamentary government. I know it's not the right one. I don't care. Or a constitutional monarchy, or kind of a constitution. I guess you can call it that. I don't know. Regretfully, I don't fully know, especially around this earlier time period. I don't fully know how the governments work all that much. What else do we have here? We have another His Majesty's government, absolute monarchy. I think that's pretty much all you're going to get, is absolute monarchies and HM's government around this time. Yeah, absolute monarchy. We have also Shogunate Japan as we're going through all the wars, well, the soon-to-be coming wars for westernization, industrialization, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, this is all. These are all going to be parliamentary stuff. We have Mexico right now, who's a presidential dictatorship. The USCA is a democracy. I guess it was. I'll believe you there. Hey, Colombia before Panama. But either way, let's look at Prussia, because that's who we care about. So let's go down the line. So production. We have some projects that someone's building in East Prussia. Someone's building a printing press. I don't know who's funding it because we don't got no capitalist. We have the production in general. So, anything that's highlighted is what we're building and what we're producing. So small arms, canned foods, sulfur is a very important one. Coal is another good one. Foreign investment, we can, as a great power, we can invest in foreign countries for just our own benefit for one way or another. And factories, which is something that doesn't come really into play until capitalists start showing up, which we really don't have any right now. Budget is for taxes and taxing. So right now we are going to, as a general, the best thing mechanics-wise in this game is to increase the taxes on the poor noticeably. About 75% tax. It's quite a bit. They'll be fine. The middle class you want to keep somewhere lower, but you want to have a lower tax on the rich so you can simulate aristocrats. Well, mainly capitalists. You don't really give a shit about aristocrats, but capitalists are what you want. The middle class is also relatively important. You want to do full funding on education and full funding on administrative works. Social spending, there's none at the moment. Military spending is fine for right now because we're not planning on fighting. And our tariffs are alright too. We don't have to really mess with that either. So, actually, we are probably going to do lower taxes on the middle class, about 40% tax. Which, well, it's actually effective tax about 27%. But it's not like actually... Actually, it might be a direct representation of how much they take from the production of each class, but I couldn't tell you fully. So So yeah, I mean we're doing pretty good with money. We're a major power, so you really don't have to worry about too much. And finally, we have next we have technology. So technology, we have Army, Navy, Commerce, Culture, and Industry. With industry, I want to focus on experiment. I want to focus on railroads. I just kind of want to. As Prussia, you want to focus on military because they already have bonuses. Our administration is the military-industrial complex, so we have Army tech bonuses, but also negatives to Navy and cultural tech. Which cultural tech is, I want to call bull on cultural tech at this time because there's a lot of heavy influences, German influences at this time. So I don't know. It's just meh. But it is military industrial complex, so that does make some sense. So we put that towards the back burner. Politics. So this is where it gets good. Let's see. Can appoint a ruling party. So essentially, there's no elections from this government. The king has full power over who's in control. But we can still, there is still a representative upper house to an extent. I believe there was, they just didn't have any power. So we have 10% reactionaries. Reactionaries are people who, they want to push back reforms, they want to go back. I hit my mic, I'm sorry. We have about 55% conservative and 35% liberal. And our parties that we have are the liberal, the Liberal Party, the National Party, and then the Conservative Party. And they have different things. So over here, the Conservative Party is a protectionist government. The minimum tariff is negative 25%, while the maximum tariff, you could actually have 100% tariffs. And that's what the trade policy is how much you can put on tariffs and stuff. Oh, wait. No, it's still doing the thing. No, yeah. Like with free trade, you can only have a 25% tariff, while with the protectionist, you can have up to 100%. Economic policy is interventionism for the conservatives, state capitalism for the National Party, and then laissez-faire for the Liberal Party. I just want to say libertarian. It's so annoying, isn't it? Interventionalists, let's see, compared to laissez-faire. So maximum tax is 50% from laissez-faire, while interventionalists you can take up to 75%. So yeah, so that's going to be affecting your taxes. Let's see, factory owner costs, factory out throughput, open and close factories. So you can open and close factories if you want to. You can prioritize factories. You can pump money into it, but you can't. Well, yeah, you can influence it, but not all that much, it seems, compared to interventionalists that can do notably more, I think. Yeah. They have more control. They can subsidize factories where laissez-faire cannot, right? No, I don't see it yet. So, that's what you'd have. Or state capitalism, which, let's see, factory owner costs 150%, factory owner built. State controls the commanding heights of the economy, but limited free enterprise is allowed. So that's what that would be. Laissez-faire is obviously the industry is free from government interference, which is true, and then trade between nations is restricted. Sorry. In general, this is a free market economy, but the government reserves the right to intervene when the national interest requires it. So that's I think there's a few other ones too. But religious policy, which is relatively part-time. Pluralism. With pluralism for the Liberal Party, the state religion is actively promoted, but other religions are tolerated. Moralism, the church and state are a single body, and religious minorities face discrimination. So right now with the Conservative Party, that's what we have. Citizenship policy, only people from your nation's primary culture are allowed to vote. So that's pretty much how that is. If you're not from that country, then you are a resident, not a citizen, and therefore you lose some sort of thing. Obviously, when you don't have a voting system like we have right now, it doesn't matter. But limited citizenship for the Liberal Party. Only people from your nation's primary accepted cultures are allowed to vote. So any complete foreigners are not allowed to vote, which again doesn't matter. And last but not least, war policy. So the Liberal Party is anti-war. They don't want to. They just don't want to fight. Well, with the Gigoloism or Eugoloism, it is the exact opposite. You get higher organization rates for military units. You can put more military spending in. You can get more reasons to go to war. You have more mobilization available. So yeah, and then there's all different reforms where you have like minimum wage pension, political parties, vote franchise, upper house, slavery, public meetings, press rights, voting system, minorities, trade unions, immigration, conscription, healthcare, pollution, arts endowment, I don't remember that one, education, child labor, unemployment, safety, and max work hours. So those are the things that we have. I do want to right now we'll keep with the Conservative Party, one because it's historical. That's what this is relatively what they were looking for. The Liberal Party does stimulate the economy a fair bit more, so I might end up going towards there a little bit more. No movements because the game just started. We have decisions. You can see right here, rights of man. We get prestige, but people gain consciousness to the shit that we're doing, which we haven't done anything just yet. And if I really want to, I can just completely destroy my nation, just release everything. So that's good. Population, along with areas of focus. So because the clergy is a major part of education at the moment, I'm going to promote clergymen in our two most populous regions or states, which is the Brandenburg and Lower Silesia. Silesia? I don't know, whatever. And also, from here, you can look at the big picture of your country, seeing the nationalities, dominant issues, what people care about. That doesn't matter. What people's ideologies are, what people's religions are, and just the workforce as a whole. And then you can also just kind of break it down to see, I don't know, let's find out. There's 110 capitalists in all Germany, so we can check with the capitalists. They're all northern Germans. Their biggest issue is laissez-faire. They are predominantly Protestant, and they are mostly conservative. Very few reactionaries. Well, if we go to, let's say, soldiers, they are also still predominantly northern German. Actually, surprisingly, they're not too much more Protestant. Their biggest issue, dominant issue, is Gigoloism, and they're also mostly conservative. If we look at the more populace, the farmers, again, it's almost the same thing. Most of the population of farmers are Protestant. There is a very large amount of Polish farmers in the country, but mostly North German still. Their biggest thing is moralism, and they are also predominantly conservative. We'll look at one more. I think it is craftsmen, right? Yeah, laborers. There you go. I figured they'd be a little bit more liberal, but they're not. Laborers seem to be predominantly from the southern region. They're almost all Catholic. Well, I'm sorry. They're majority Catholic, and their biggest thing is moralism. You can actually see from this as well the amount of people in these places. So you can see here the predominant. Oh, wait, what's this all about now? I forgot what this little thing, like, how it works majority-wise. I'm sorry, I fucked up. But yeah, let's just move on. Trade. This is a very confusing screen. Let's not even look at it. Diplomacy. There you go. This is slightly less confusing. So yeah, this is where we have to do all of our diplomacy bullshit. Which what we're going to do is pretty much sphere all these little states. We're going to try to get Hanover in our sphere of influence. We'll get everyone that we can. We want to go to Europe. That'll help. And Hanover. We can increase the relations right here. We have diplomacy points. So we get 0.6 each month. I'm going to focus on that because they are the largest. They are a satellite of the United Kingdom. I don't like that, so they need to like fuck off. Okay, these guys are already in our sphere, actually. We have quite a few. There doesn't seem to be really anyone who I want that's not in my sphere. Other than obviously trying to take these guys away from Austria, actually. So that's what we're going to do. Actually, I don't care about Italy, per se. So if I did, I'll wait. Maybe get Bavaria and this will get Baden. I don't really care about that either. Alright, so actually we're doing pretty good. And we're also going to try to take Hanover. Let's just do this too. Actually, no, these guys are lower priority. That's what this is doing. It's just giving a priority to who we want to pull towards us. It's one of those harder things to where there is so much to do. I'm trying my best to describe everything or explain everything that's going on, but there's so much. And then military. This is a relatively simple thing that I don't know. There really isn't much to say, honestly. I am bothered by this, that it says Corps and not Army, because these are armies apparently. Come on, where's the A at? There you go. There you go, Army 1. Riveting stuff. I actually probably will cut this part out, but we're just having a problem seeing today. It's very worrying, really. Come on, Jared. You forgot how to type. Oh, so I'll do that at the end of the episode before we do anything. I'll just do that real quick. The Prussian Navy is 3 Clipper transports, so that's going great. So no one cares. So what are our goals other than obviously unifying this bit? I kind of want to fuck with Russia a little bit. Take this industrialized bit of Russia. I think that would be fun. Doing this is, yeah, whatever. You know, taking this over or doing this or that. Nah, that's difficult. This is also difficult, but doable. Especially if I can get Austria and the Ottomans on my side, and even possibly the Chinese. Regardless if the UK wants to be involved, because the UK's land forces would be so relatively small that they would have to, you know, or even if France did it, then it would be an issue. But, you know, scramble for Africa. We're going to be working on that slowly too. But I don't know. I kind of want to focus more on the Indies, or the Indonesia and Indochina, and get those guys on my side a little bit more. Actually, matter of fact, why don't I actually get Siam to hang out with me? There you go. And so you go. I mean, I haven't started the game yet, so I mean, next episode will be me starting the game and explaining the game a little bit more. One more thing with budget as well. This is telling me these graphs right here are telling me the how many people are getting their life needs. So there are, if you go back to here, there are there's life needs, everyday needs, and then luxury needs. So for here example, 74% of the population is getting at least their life needs. 4% are getting their life needs partially fulfilled, which is a relatively small percentage of people. and then 21% are getting their everyday needs. Where with the middle class, 90% are getting their everyday needs, 80% are getting their life needs, and so the middle class is doing very fantastic right now. And then the rich, 6 are getting their life needs, and 32 are getting their everyday needs. No one's getting their luxury needs just yet, but the game also hasn't started yet. So either way, I hope you enjoyed this episode. There really isn't anything going on at all, but it will actually happen eventually. I actually do like it actually even tells you where these soldiers are from, where they pulled the population from. Uh-oh, I actually did a screenshot I didn't need. So, I'm going to do this, and then I will start. I will see you guys. There we go. So, I'm going to look up some more stuff and, see if anyone actually is interested in this. And, yeah, I'll probably start recording right after this. But either way, hope you enjoyed this episode. I know nothing happened at all, but obviously I did have to explain what the hell was going on, just to at least a minimal extent. If you like what you saw, why don't you hit the like button, or just maybe if you just want to take pity on me, because I am just talking in front of a map for I don't know how long this episode was. So I mean that is a little depressing. So either way, I will see you guys next time.